Good morning, it's Bianca and welcome to Touring Apartments in Philly. I hope that you are gonna enjoy coming along on this journey with me to new adventures, possible new cities, possibly just starting over, and etc. So without any further ado, if you are new here and you stumbled across this video, I'm Bianca, hi, and I love Philly. I'm from New York City, but I love this sister city to save my life, and that's totally on the rhetoric of I listened to way too much Philly pop punk growing up and I just found a home here.
We started off this apartment tour adventure at this place. I actually forget the semi-exact location because it was such a blur of running around all day. Not that I would probably tell you the exact location anyway in case for some reason I end up living here, but this was a actual little bit out of price range and budget, but it was absolutely gorgeous. Online it did say a different price than it were in person when we ended up showing up, considering fees and bills like electric and water, etc. But whatever the case may be, it was absolutely gorgeous. There was a washer and dryer, and you know, coming from New York City where most of the apartments here do not have washer and dryer hookups nor new appliances for you to use in the actual unit, this was quite incredible. Obviously, this was like a construction work zone in sight, but they just were bringing us here to show us what the possibilities could be. Now, this was the beautiful kitchen. It was not humongous, but that big window did make it really attainable and exciting for me to see myself cooking in here. But again, this was a wee bit out of price range. We kind of wished and washed through this tour, and he was so kind to show us a building that was very similar to this because it was owned by the same people, but it was in a different neighborhood where the rent was able to be a little lower because it was a little outside of the city. Yeah, so we're gonna hit that next, which you will be able to see that it was still the same gorgeous setup, kind of similar appliances, similar bathroom setup, layout, because it was the same builder, the same building management, etc. But I thought this was really nice. I love the wood floors, and of course these windows of the view of the city. Like you really can't go wrong with something like this. I think it's insane. It's gorgeous. I'm obsessed with it. I definitely could see myself living here, but of course, again, not for the price point. But the closets were big, and there was linen closets and pantries and a lot of storage for other things. Okay, just saw apartment number one. Very fun, very cool. And he actually had another apartment like in the area. So he said, you know what? I have an appointment at 1. We have an appointment at 1:30. So if we book it over there, I could show you that one too. So we're squeezing in another apartment. And this is what I wanted to do today. I wanted to make sure we're popping and weaving everywhere. The only thing I didn't get to show you guys in this apartment was the rooftop. And the rooftop was awesome because there was like a pecking bird or something? A mockingbird. And that bitch was trying to attack us. So I didn't get to pull my camera out really fast, but the view was really nice. The only con of this is that a building is going to go up next to it within like the next year or so. So, you know, it's going to change some things, but really beautiful. I really liked it. I thought it was quite awesome. Again, I'm not making any crazy decisions. We are just here to look. We want to see neighborhoods, we want to see vibes, we want to catch a drift of like what prices are in different areas compared to the others, especially because Philly's kind of small. Oh, here, there's a grocery store right here. Like, it's very chill. But we are going to a different apartment right now that's owned by the same, I guess, people. So I'll show you that one too. I'm actually really excited. We'll see what this one is. He said this one's cheaper, so we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Now, like I said in the beginning clips, this was 10 minutes away in a totally different neighborhood. This was a neighborhood I've never been to before, and it was kind of in an in-betweens of neighborhoods. So again, something I would just have to like look into and figure out, considering I don't know the area. But they had a big gym. I mean, that gym was humongous. They had a cool water filling station, something like that with that little touch was very exciting to me. They also had a bike rack room, which if you live in Philly, I would definitely be bringing my bike there. I do have to fix my bike's tires because the tubes are completely shot and I need new tubes, as well as I think Jordan does too. But either way, they actually had a parking garage, which I thought was awesome, considering again, we have a car and we wouldn't have to kind of deal with the ins and outs of trying to find parking in Philly. It was not at an additional expense. It actually was just a wait list. So I thought that was rather cool. And this is the apartment. So the apartment doesn't have those ginormous grand windows like the other apartment did. And that's where kind of you're weighing on the price point. But look at the view. It's gorgeous. The windows are still really nice. They're black. They're pretty. They have like this very grand kind of homey effect to them. I love dark colors. I love light hardwood floors. I love dark hardwood floors as well. but this color is really beautiful to me. And the kitchen looks like this. So it was very, very similar to the last one. The last one I think looked a little more luxury compared to this, but I don't need to live in luxury. I thought this was quite nice. The appliances were cool. I really liked that there was a gas range stove. And then I'm going to bring you guys over into the bedroom, or what would be the bedroom. The only con of this apartment is that the guy who was showing us around, see another linen closet, he did let us know that there are some apartments that do have a firewall built into them, so you can be losing square footage in the actual apartment dependent on if that's the one that you get. So that was definitely a bummer because it could be a lot smaller than what you assume to be, although it will fit a king size bed regardless. And I thought the view was so pretty. You got to see the trees. It was in a really cool neighborhood, but again, I didn't really know the neighborhood so well, or a lot of my friends just don't live in this area, so we were trying to figure it out as we went, but we were very excited to be able to see it. Also, I really liked how the bathroom vanity matched the wood floor of the rest of the house. It just felt super convenient and consistent. Now, this is the rooftop, so you do have access to this as well, and I think this would be so nice to read a book or film videos or even edit if I wanted to edit on my laptop instead of my desktop, because look at this view. You see Philly as a whole, and I just thought it was so gorgeous, and of course, no mockingbird to attack us while we were here. I look like a hot mess right now, so please ignore that I'm just turning to this side so you guys could just like deal with my shenanigans. But Jordan and I, on the drive from this apartment to the next apartment, we were really just taking it in. We were talking about it. I didn't film my in-betweens of here to the next place, and rightfully so. We were really able to take in the views, the sights, the neighborhoods that we were passing, as well as this beautiful greenery overpass. We had never been to this part of Philly before. We were a little bit up north, and we were in this area that reminded us so much of where Jordan went to college. He went to college in upstate New York, and if you are not from this general area, upstate New York is very close to Manhattan. It's literally attached to the Bronx, so right when you hit the Bronx, you just get this gorgeous array of trees and these big beautiful parks and this very like historic kind of feel to it. And his college was like sitting right on top of the Bronx. So this is kind of how I was describing it, or how Jordan and I were describing it to one another, of what this area was and what this beautiful drive was, because we were just a little bit out of the city, but it brought us a lot more opportunity and it brought us a lot more greenery and woodsy feel, and it really made us feel like nostalgic in this awesome way. So just bear in mind with that as we go through these next few apartments, because they are not dead center city in Philly, but they were something that we are still thinking about to this day. Even currently as I'm filming, I am still very enthralled with this space. Now, we were able to see many units in this building because it's a brand new build, so there were totally different layouts in each place. This was the first one we saw, and it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and it was in our price range, which is insane to think that I'd be able to afford something like that. As well as Jordan, we kept just looking at each other and being like, how is this possible? But again, we were outside of the city, and it just, that's all it takes, is sometimes to just go 10, maybe even 15 minutes down the road. This was a brand new construction, so nobody has ever lived here before, which for my kind of germophobic self felt really nice. There's little chips on the bathtub, but they're fixing it. They already put in like an order for it. Someone had dropped something in the process of building or whatever the case. And of course, no one has ever lived here before, so that raises a concern of, oh my god, is the management going to be good? Oh my god, is it this? Is it that? But at the same time, you are having this like brand new space, so sometimes the figuring it out part comes with the process of just trusting the process, which I thought was kind of cool. But regardless, it has nothing to do with any of this. The point of it is that each unit has a balcony, and to me that honestly is really important, and I didn't realize that was so important to me until I realized I'm not going to have a backyard if I'm living in Philly. And you guys know currently, if you are aware of my YouTube channel, that I am someone who absolutely stays in my backyard a lot of the time. I just so happen to be the person who lives in New York City that has like this gorgeous, nice backyard with a lot of trees and a lot of trails. And a lot of people in New York City, believe it or not, have access to these things. I thought this apartment was so nice and it was so cool. I really liked the fixtures. I liked the appliances. It was electric, not gas stove, but that's okay. Sometimes you have to pick and choose. And we were just walking up the stairs to a different apartment so we could see a different sort of layout, as well as a 1-bedroom versus a 2-bedroom. So this next unit we're going to go in, I believe, was a 1-bedroom. Being able to see this 1-bedroom really put into perspective where your space will go. So now that this was a 1-bedroom versus a 2, I felt like the living room was a lot bigger. It was a lot more open. It was a lot more airy. And I really did enjoy that this little cutout was all ours. So once you walk out to the balcony, you see these windows to the right. that would be our bedroom. So we're gonna go into the bedroom right here with Jordan, and I think he was super excited about this. It seemed a little smaller than the bedrooms in the previous unit, but the exciting part is this. Look at this view. It's gorgeous, it's incredible. It was on the other side of the building, which obviously you got a street view versus a backyard sort of situational view, and I love it. It reminds me of home. It reminds me of where I look out my windows right now, and I really liked this place, man. I will say my only downfall of this apartment and this unit in specific is this right here is the washer unit, but it's right next to the boiler and like the hot water tank, which is nice because it's convenient. You have your own hot water, but I wish that was a pantry next to the washing machine instead of just, you know, a big boiler taking up space. But I digress to another unit in the same building. This was a corner unit, and you know how I feel about corners. I love sitting in corners when I go to restaurants. I love a corner picture. I love a corner everything. Gorgeous, absolutely insane. My only, again, downfall was this, is that the space was reallocated because it was a corner, that the closets were smaller in that unit. Now this unit right here, I can't remember. Oh, okay, this was right next to the other corner unit, so this was just the opposite corner, so it just depended on which side of the building I guess you wanted to be on, but the closets itself were a lot smaller. So as you saw in the units previously, they were definitely walk-in closets, whereas this one was just a regular standing closet, but of course this unit was way bigger. I loved the kitchen layout in this, and it seemed like all of these units on this floor in specific had that exact washer sort of boiler situation, which kind of sucks because I wish it was shelving, but still really pretty, really gorgeous. Yeah, so now we're gonna go over to the community room. It's not fully built yet because, again, this is a brand new building and they were in the process of it, so we watched the guy like put on the wallpaper and come in and say hi to us. There's also a photo of what this is going to look like, so I'll bring you over to that in a moment, but I thought this would be a really cool room if you had like some work to do or an interview or a meeting, or your friends needed to come over and you just needed like an extra little space for them to be. And yeah, I thought it was quite cool. They also had a rooftop. There was no furniture on it yet because, again, new build. There was a bathroom up there and the roof was really big, and I can't believe what they're probably going to do with the place. It's probably going to look gorgeous. This is the view. This building I know was a lot to digest, and of course it was a lot to digest for Jordan and I, but we really enjoyed it. We thought it was quite nice. So let's move on to the next places and continue forth with the vlog. Oh my god, it's so hot in the car. Okay, we just saw a hell of a lot of units in this one building because it's like a brand new construction building, and I think Jordan and I, considering that we are from somewhere that's very woodsy and very like we're by a train and we're whatever, it's like kind of awesome. Can I have some of that? It's a brand new building, so they're still like, you know, doing a lot of stuff. They're kind of pre-leasing some things, but everything's finished. It's just like not the lobby, and certain amenities are finished, and I know that could seem like a red flag to like most things. You know, the
apartments were nice.
The laundry in the last building we saw was a lot nicer of a machines, because this was like just the stackable one.
Yeah.
But these in general,
it's a better price.
It's technically a nicer area. There's I'm not gonna say what train station or whatever, but there's a train station right here. Like, you could hop on the train in 30 minutes. You're like dead by City Hall, which is kind of awesome. If you don't feel like driving, you just hop on the train. That's literally, you don't have to do anything. There's a bus stop, there's so many things. It's more residential. It's not like in the dead center of Philly, but this freaking rocked. So it's just different, very cool. This was like a really fun, I was into this. It's very green over here. Okay, so now we are going to go to another one, and this is actually our last one of the day, which do you feel like good about?
Yeah.
And we're back like in the city now, so that's what we're gonna, oh, it's kind of windy. So that's what we're gonna go look at now, like a loft space in more of the city. It's not technical, well, no, it is. We're in the city now. I guess like Franklin town-ish. I don't know. This is definitely more like not like, you know, this is like Philly. Like, this is like where we're used to coming to Philly. Yeah, I like this.
A lot of parking.
There's a lot of parking. It's a school. There's a lot of parking. I think there's a park over here, and we're like only one neighborhood away from like Chinatown, and like where like that heart of like Philly is, where like Reading is and stuff, and where all like the late night like pho spots are. Late night. So we're trying to test out different neighborhoods and areas and stuff, obviously, as you could tell. But I kind of find it fascinating. Where are we parked? Oh, all right. Well, we'll see you guys inside. Okay, so for starters, this is the view, and as absolutely gorgeous and insane and industrial it is, this apartment was not our favorite.
really such a bummer because it was carpeted, and on the photos online it definitely did not look carpeted, and the kitchen was god awful. I am sorry. Linoleum countertops are just not something that I'm used to. They're not something that I ever want, and I know that sounds like a little privileged, maybe a little bit spoiled, but if you know what you want, that is just absolutely not something that I am into having. As well as they were just very scuffed and kind of old, and the apartment was really big. The building was humongous. It was like built in 1912 or something. It maybe used to be a giant factory, but I wish this flooring was throughout the entirety of the apartment loft. Of course, it was a loft, so you have to bear in mind that it's going to be smaller, it's going to be a little different. There was a washer, which was right here, which I thought was great. Of course, coming from New York City, a lot of people do not have washer dryers, especially in unit. I thought the closets were humongous. The bathroom, though, ugh, compared to the other bathrooms that we saw, this was it was awful. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. It was not filthy. There was a nice linen closet, but guys, it looked like a dorm. It gave Jordan, he said verbatim, flashbacks to his college dorm bathroom that used to overflow all the time. So he was not into it. I was not into it either. Carpet is just kind of my absolute breaking point. I refuse to do it, but I will let you know that this view, come on, man, this was sick. The ceilings were so high. It felt so humongous in here, and I kept saying it to the leasing girl who was bringing us around. She was so kind, and she's from Philly, so we just were talking about the neighborhoods and the this and the that, and she was very helpful in aiding our understanding and our decisions. And she also was kind of on board with the fact that I didn't know it was carpeted, and it really made me uncomfortable to know that it was carpeted, especially right next to the kitchen. And Philly gets super snowy. You know, we live in the Northeast. It's gonna get a little dirty, and like I felt mildewy in there, so I didn't want the sense of cooking garlic to kind of go in the carpet. I wasn't into it, but the views were gorgeous and the windows were so nice. This one was particularly a 1-bedroom, so it's a loft, so 1-bedrooms are not technically full covered 1-bedrooms. They're just sort of curated spaces, if that makes sense to you guys. So this is the closets, and this would be the bedroom space. So we did see 2 units. The one that you saw prior was just a studio, which looked a lot more massive than this, and this one was the 1-bedroom. So this is where your bed would be, where your closet spaces would be, and I thought the closets were really big. It was kind of like a his and a hers, so it was cool, but again, couldn't get over the carpet, so it was just not something that I ended up being into. Another closet, this could be like a linen closet. Oh, this bathroom is bigger than the last unit we saw. Oh, and the washing is in here. I don't love like this. This is definitely, wait, this is bigger than before. It was definitely in this moment that I realized I could not do something like this, so I just stopped talking because I didn't want to come off rude. Okay, so now this vlog, I presume, is turning into just like kind of a vloggy vlog. I can't really give you guys my full synopsis of everything right now because we're still digesting it. And speaking of digesting, we are taking a stroll because we just digested Triangle Tavern, which all my friends have been telling me to go to, and like literally people online have also been telling me to go to because it's like half vegan, half vegetarian, half whatever, and everyone knows that I love buffalo sauce, and they have buffalo vegan wings. They were good. I will say the Yard House wings are better. It was fun. It was like a nice little stopover. That was the first thing we ate today. Well, we ate really late last night because we had a show, and I did merch and Jordan played the show, so we just had like a really late night. We're just walking now to get coffee and vibe. And I'm excited because I need a walk, although my feet are really fucking hot. And when I say really hot, I mean I really wish I had sandals on, but the only sandals I brought here are hot pink. They don't match my aesthetic right now. Jordan and I ended up walking to a different area of where we were for this because the coffee shop ended up being closed. So we tried to go to a different one, which we ended up going to a different one way after the fact, but we walked to like the Italian market area of South Philly, which was really cool because we had never really walked through that neighborhood before. We've been to like Geno's and Pat's, but we've never walked like throughout it, and it was so cool and so nice. I'm excited that our little detour ended up being like a good one. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I still have not digested or comprehended all of these apartments that we saw. Please let me know what you guys think of them. Obviously, I trust a lot of you guys' judgment and any insight that you have. I know I did post that I'm really excited to move to Philly on my TikTok, and some of you guys even reached out to me and tried to tell me and give me like insight. I think it's so cool that we're able to have this community online, and I really trust you guys, and I hope that you guys just wish the best for me. So please send out like good spirits. I know sharing things like this sometimes comes with like evil eye, and I don't want any of that. I'm gonna knock on wood. I'm like shooing that away from my brain, but thank you for being a part of this journey, and I really trust you guys so much. So please, if you like this video at any point, make sure you're subscribed and let me know in the comments. Let's have like a fun, nice conversation. Did you like any of them? Did you not? Soon I will be posting some Philly vlogs, so again, make sure that you're subscribed. But I'll see you guys in my next video anyway. Okay, bye.